Stonehenge and Doty and Howell and other circles and not Stonehenge, I'm sorry, Newgrange. I've read a lot on it. So
Don't get you today. Okay, I'm
yeah, and they're talking about burial spots, but they were much more than burial spots and much more than astrology. They're vibrational.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Unity in Chattanooga. You know that Sunday after Easter. And you're here. You're here. Yay. All right, here we go. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Again, try it again. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, I am. In the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, I am. From the top, I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. I am. In the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. I am. Smile, smile. In the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. In the light, and the love, and the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Yeah. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Join with me now in prayer as we light the Christ candle. We remember and turn inward to the ever-present light within us. We choose to come together in love, peace, harmony, and joy as we affirm our wholeness and oneness as divine expressions of light. We open our hearts and our minds and are present in this perfect moment. Breathing in unlimited life and releasing any resistance to its ever-present flow in us and around us. We behold the ever-present wholeness and healing within our friends Chuck and Kate. We behold the perfection of Christ within them. And we send them love and blessings. We let them know and feel that we are with them in spirit and in truth. We celebrate and rejoice in this day, allowing our divine awareness to expand as we hear words of wisdom affirming our true nature. We are grateful for those who visit us each week and speak truth and bring their energy that uplifts and inspires each of us to move in the fullness of the life and the spirit within us. And so it is.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely in the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Made a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out of blood and fire. Bad decisions, that's alright. Welcome to my silly life. Mistreated, misplaced, misunderstood, misaway, it's all good. It didn't slow me down. Mistaken, always second guessing, underestimated. Look, I'm still around. Pretty please, don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect. Pretty please, if you ever feel like you're nothing, you are perfect to me. You're so mean when you talk about yourself. You're so wrong. Change the voices inside your head. Make them like you instead. So complicated, look happy you make it. Filled with so much hatred, such a tired game. It's enough, I've done all I can think of. Chased down all the deeds, I've seen you do the same. Oh, pretty please, don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect. Pretty please, if you ever feel like you're nothing, you are perfect. The whole world's scared, so I follow the spirit. The whole world's scared, so I swallow the fear. The only thing I should be drinking is the joy and cheer. So cool in line, and we try, but we try so hard. It's a waste of my time. Done looking for the critics, cause they're everywhere. Won't like my jeans, they don't like my hair. Exchange ourselves, we do it all the time. Why do we do? Why do we do? Why do we do? Yeah! Pretty please. Don't you ever feel, come on, like you're less than perfect. Pretty please. If you ever feel like you're nothing, you are perfect. Oh, pretty please. Don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect. Pretty please. If you ever feel like you're nothing, you are perfect to me. You know that little rhythm thing kind of throws you off every now and then. It was perfect. Yeah, love y'all. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Gloria, Julie. Yeah, you gonna hang around? We love you. Did you write
Another great musical pep talk from Landis Bats. Good morning. And welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. My name is Gloria Hastings, and this is one of my happy places, so I'm glad to be here today. And I'm glad to see each of your beautiful, smiling, shining faces. I'd also like to say hello to everyone on our Facebook live stream. Good morning. And we have some regulars, and we appreciate that. And last week, Penny gave you a shout out, but ICYMI, in case you missed it, we're going to do it again. Alrighty then. Let's see. Now, one person I actually saw here, so you're off the list. Okay, here we go. And again, a very special thank you. Thanks for tuning in every week. We love you guys. So hello to Gay Arthur, Margaret Dexter, David Nazar, Jim and Barbara Murphy, Corey Mayo, Sherry McCroskey, Lynn Alverson, Michael and Joni Hollowell, Phaedra and Michael Roberts, and last but not least, Larry and Perry Weeks. Good morning. Thanks again for tuning in. If you are new to Facebook and you'd like more information about our church or about Unity Worldwide Ministries, just send us a DM or DM us, whatever. Okay. Now, if anyone is here and visiting for the first time, we would love to extend a special welcome to you. How about you, Susan? We do have a new person, and our usher is going to bring you a packet, and you can get more information about the church and about Unity, which you already know, as I understand. It's on the back of the packet. We're glad to have you. So we're going to let Keith give you your free gift, and we're going to warm up our hands and give you a very special welcome. Okay, together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Yay, we're glad you're here, Susan. Alrighty then. Okay, here we go. Sorry, got ahead of myself. Oh, wow, they're just flying out of here. Okay. And we're back. The Christ in you referred to that spark of divinity, the very same quality of being that Jesus found and brought forth in himself and in his ministry, demonstrated in his ministry. This church, UOC, Unity of Chattanooga, is part of Unity Worldwide Ministries, which is dedicated to helping people discover a positive path to spiritual living. And wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here today. Unity believes that everyone deserves a seat at the banquet table, so you are welcome here today. The heart of the Unity movement is oneness. That is our oneness with God, the good, the one presence, and the one power active in our lives. Whether you have a strong spiritual foundation, or maybe you're just beginning your spiritual journey, Unity can offer spiritual insights and guidance for all people that emphasize personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. That sounds great. How do we do it? Because, as you know, all those science folks tell us that their research says that it's hard to be positive all the time.
It's hard to do that because our brains, as you know, are hardwired for survival.
What?
Oops.
I love synchronicity.
I know. It's the crazy pants. Okay. It's an inside joke. Okay. Anything can happen. I'll just put it that way. All right. So how do we live positively? Because again, we've got our brains, the subconscious mind is constantly assessing for threats. It's on guard for any kind of risk factor. And all that's going on is subconscious, but we're kind of aware of it. And then it gets even into more fear stuff because our brains are going to train us to remember frightening and negative experiences more profoundly than we remember positive ones. So even the science, non-spiritual people say, you all are going to need to get a skill set to deal with all the negativity. Now, those of us in Unity have a leg up on that process because we have all kinds of positive spiritual practices, things like positive affirmations, affirmative prayer, visualization, meditation, and we use our spiritual powers, things like zeal, imagination, strength. And with our faith eyes, we see that situations, even really not so great ones, are temporary. And in some way, it's connected to our highest good. And those things help us stay positive. Unity has helped me stay positive with all those things, but probably the biggest thing for me is the awakening of divinity, of understanding that I'm fully human. I have all the baggage that goes along with that, but I'm also fully divine. I'm a spiritual being. And when I'm living out that truth, I'm in the positive flow of life, everything's going great, nothing bothers me. And then I let it slip away. Yeah, it does. More often than I wish to tell you. But when it does, how do we get back, to that positive side? One way for me to remember who I am, to remember I'm a spiritual being and not just a human who's struggling, is to come back here where we have wonderful speakers. I have interactions with all of you who smile and share your love with me, and it means so much. And it reminds me of who I am, and I need those reminders. And sometimes reminders just show up in your inbox. It just happens. And I'm going to share with you an excerpt from a poem. It was a reminder for me. This poem is about 100 years old, so you may have heard it before. It's written by Max Ehrmann. It's entitled Desiderata, which is Latin for things desired. This is the last paragraph. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, the universe is no doubt unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. Now we're going to strive to greet our neighbors with a smile or a handshake, a high five, a hug. You do you while respecting others' boundaries. Let's go for it.
Great job, Robert. I love your 27 karat sapphire. I was worried about you. Thank you. Good to see you. Your shirt's
Return to your seats. Thank you very much. I'm having fun. Okay. Alrighty now. Let's return to our seats. Because now the really good part's coming.
Yes.
Woo! We are so blessed today because Julie Boniger is back in the house. Woo! Julie's amazing. Reverend Julie Boniger is from Unity North, from Marietta, Georgia. And she, all right. And Reverend Julie is the associate minister at Unity North Atlanta. That's pretty cool. She is an ordained interfaith and interspiritual minister through the One Spirit Alliance, Learning Alliance. And she will receive her Master of Divinity degree upon her licensing and ordination as a Unity minister in June. And we celebrate that with you. We think you're great. And not surprisingly, I believe this, Julie joyfully leads one of the largest youth and family programs in the Unity movement. All right. She's a contributor to Unity.org Children's Prayer Column and is currently working on a book about the intersection of spirituality and mental health and the spiritual growth that comes from embracing our human experiences. Oh my gosh, I want a copy. Okay. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Reverend Julie Boniger.
I can't believe I'm going to be a Unity minister. I'm hearing it out loud going, who is that? So good morning, everybody. It's good to see you guys again. I love synchronicities, and everything that has happened this morning so far, I'm just geeking out over, because today we're going to be talking about vibration and resonance and energy. And Heath, is that who brought me the bowl, Heath? Yeah. So he was talking about science, and he was talking about wavelengths, and then I heard something about vibration over here, and it's like, and then you came up and gave part of the original part of my talk that I took out, which was obviously supposed to be there. So it's like, I just love synchronicity. So I am just thrilled to be back. You have such a beautiful and amazing and loving community, and you're already outgrowing it. So get your plans ready, because you're gonna have more space. I just see it for you. So last week was Easter, and it's celebrated by Christians all over the world. And who said parishioner earlier? So she said parishioner, and I didn't blink twice because I was raised Catholic. And you know, this last couple weeks we've been celebrating and honoring Pope Francis, and he is just is such a testament to humility and grace. And so that's been, I love ritual. I've taken that from my Catholic faith and left the things behind that maybe didn't serve me anymore. But I never even blinked when she said parishioner. So for Easter in Unity, we view it as a living, breathing call to awaken. So resurrection is about raising our consciousness, lifting our thoughts, and aligning with the divine truth of who we are. And Jesus, our elder brother and way shower, he gave us such a demonstration. And whether or not he physically or metaphorically rolled the stone away and stepped out of the tomb, we're still talking about it 2,000 years later. And so to me, that's a miracle in and of itself. And we just are invited to take that lifting and that consciousness. It's not the end of the story, though. So like the eggs are found. You know, like she said, I have a youth program, and we hid 337 eggs in the woods. Our teenagers hid them, and because teenagers hid them, I was like, I need to count these eggs. That's why I know we had 337 of them. And so when all the kids were done and turning their eggs in, there were 27 left somewhere in the woods. So we sent kids out, and they found almost all of them. But when that's done and the ham is put away and the chocolate's eaten, how do we then continue the miracle of Easter? And that's what we're going to talk about today. It's through awareness action, and embodiment. And we're going to geek out over the science. I feel like I'm just looking over here because of the, hi online people. I see you. Let me just shift this. I've got props. You can tell I'm in the theater and dramatic. I have 43 things up here. But energy and vibration is what we're talking about. So I've got stuff. So that Christ consciousness that we get to live from, Easter is a moment. Every day, every hour, every thought, every minute. Because now we just rose. Now we just resurrected. And maybe we didn't. Sometimes we get down in the muck. So we're going to talk about what we can do to raise back up after Easter. So I was writing this talk, and like all talks, it decides what to say on like Friday. I have tried to do it early. It doesn't work out. So I was writing it yesterday, or finishing, or thinking it was done, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to be a unity minister, something I never really anticipated, because thankfully they've changed the program, but up until now, you could be a rocket scientist, I think, before you could be a unity minister. It was daunting, and I'm grateful to have had the Bible and the history, and we are the last class to get a master's, so I am grateful to have all of that, but it was a lot. And so I never thought it was something I would undertake. So I'm sitting with it last night, and I was like, how am I going to go in there tomorrow and tell them all this? I'm an imposter. I'm not living, a girl is not practicing what she preaches at all right now. I'm just in my ick a little bit, in my muck. And so when he was talking or singing Pretty Pretty Please, that was another synchronicity for me, because we're going to talk about the power of kindness a little bit later, but we got to start with ourselves, because we know principle number 3, our thoughts are creative. And what are we thinking about ourselves? And when we talk about the energy going out, that's an even bigger responsibility, but like a sacred honoring. And so I sat with my imposter syndrome, and then I remembered they ask you, what is your platform, or what do you bring most to ministry? And for me, I seek to be vulnerable and authentic, always, in all ways. I think Jesus was, and ministers are just people that have paid more attention to themselves, which can be a bad thing or a good thing. And so I want to be relatable. I don't ever want to be the kind of person that's looked at as having it all together. So I am on the messy bus, and will tell you that every time I'm here, probably, because we're all in it together. So I leaned into my imposter syndrome a little bit last night, and I thought, well, no, we can use it, because how do we shift it? So we have, I don't want to quiz you. I'm very interactive, so if you have something to say, just say it. I don't even care if you raise your hand. I mean, you'll have to fight it out if you both talk at the same time. But somebody throw out a unity principle, any one of them.
God is love and everywhere present.
God is love. Don't say 5. That's mine. God is love and everywhere present.
There's one power and one presence.
Mm-hmm.
Omnipotent.
Yep. There's only one God and one presence. And so where is that? Everywhere. So number 2, if God is love, then that love resides in us. Then number 3, in our team program, we say it always comes down to number 3. Our thoughts are creative. We are given that ability to shift our thoughts. And how do we do that? Through prayer and meditation. Or what Charles said was going to headquarters, the silence. But number 5, and I almost want you to turn that off, because I'm about to say something that's not necessarily how the unity frames number 5. The way I've heard it is, knowing these truths is not enough. We must live the truth we know. And it wasn't until 2 weeks ago that I was like, what do you mean must? What do you mean I must live the truth I know? Who's going to tell me when I did? And so I just sat there for a second, and I understand the intention, right? Is that you have to put it out into the world. And for a long time, it also made me think of sacred service. You know, when we've done the inner work, now we go out into the world and share. But for whatever reason, I was stuck on the must. And so I thought about it. For me, especially if I'm in the muck, is if you want to know the truth you're living, look around. And it's a slight shift on that notion. And because honestly, we must to do what? Like, we can live in misery for the rest of our life, or partial misery, and not pay attention to our thoughts. So the way we know if there's work to do, if we have to shift, for me, principle 5, okay, how am I living it? Uh-oh, or yay. And so what came to me is, I took kind of stock of my life right now, and it's an exciting time. 10 people are traveling to the village with me. I get to show them around. They're supporting me. I'm teaching now. On the outside, everything looks great. So I'm looking around. Why do I feel icky? So, I don't know, not all icky, but I'm having those thoughts. They're not my resurrection thoughts. And it comes down to the imposter syndrome, or feeling like I'm not good enough, living from the outside in instead of the inside out. And that's really what the song was saying. We have to start from within, because that's where God lives. That's where, we can see it. I can see it directly in you, but if I don't see it in me, it's more difficult to see it in others. And so for me, whenever I have a need to really connect with God, to just really know that God is here, is in nature. And it's, I love patterns. Does anybody know what murmuration is? You do? Yes, my people. Those birds, man. Have you ever seen them? I think they're starlings, mostly. It's like this choreographed thing. How do they know where they're flying? Energy. So I can't look up at those birds without knowing there is some kind of pattern or connection. I just can't. Or the Fibonacci sequence, all the seashell patterns that are everywhere. So I go to nature, and I'm thinking about, when you drop a pebble in a pond, what happens? It ripples out. And so if everything is energy, what are we rippling out? What are we rippling out? And my kids back in Atlanta, I gave my teachers a box of rocks and a pail thing, and I was like, go forth. I'm going to Chattanooga. So the kids are going to be throwing rocks today. What could possibly go wrong? Sorry, guys. It'll be fine. They're pebbles. But sometimes we have to see it to understand it. And so I'm sitting with it going, okay, I know it's my energy. I have the power to shift it with my next breath, with my next thought. So I found this quote from Nikola Tesla, and he said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah. I know that one.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Because here's the thing, who's heard of an aura?
Someone told me yesterday that I have a really
strong,
beautiful aura. Or something.
Oh, I can see it.
Kind aura.
Kind aura, yes, and science backs that up. We have, our hearts are electromagnetic, and science has been able to prove that we have this energy field going out. I think it's 6 feet, 5 feet. And we don't really think about that. So our energies are kind of bumping up against each other, and they call it the biofield. So everything is energy, everything. And I was talking to somebody, it might have been Heath, about the wave particles and how the observer effect, and I'm not a physicist and I'm not a scientist, so I may get it wrong. But even this is not really solid. How's that possible? If my friend Andrea is watching, she loves it when I do that. But it's true. It's vibrating fast enough that it seems like it's put together. And so we're energy, and that is going to infuse everything we do. So have you ever walked into a room or been with somebody who just exudes calmness? And how does it feel?
Well, I work in ICU all my life, and most of my patients were in coma. And of course, very quiet, peaceful. And then people were asking me, how do you know if they're in pain or not? Or how do you communicate with them? And listening to the energy. I mean, I was able to feel energy in the areas where the patient was having pain, even though he was comatose.
Wow.
And it was very interesting because if I work on that, I'm an occupational therapist by background. If I work on the shoulder, and the left shoulder didn't have any pain, the heart rate will be normal, will be stable. But the moment I will go to the other shoulder, I will put my hand, and that hand became very hot. And then as I range him, the heart rate will go up.
Yep.
And that would be a sign that energy was telling me, okay, there's something wrong in there, plus the heat.
Right.
So I experienced that every single day, 8, 10
And that-
sessions a day. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and that's the basis of Reiki healing.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Kind of similar to that.
Yep.
So I took this course, and it was done by a nurse, where we needed to, I didn't know anybody in the course, and we needed to find out what that person had without the person telling me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was
Nice.
very cool because I have people in the class that had recovered from breast cancer, cardiac issues, like blood pressure issues or an MI or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a great
And
example.
You will scan the whole body, and when you feel energy, we will do some work there, and then the person will tell you, I just had a heart attack 6 months ago, and you go like, oh my God.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's a really, and how often do we tune into that? I mean, we can, but it's an awareness. So that's the first thing that we're going to talk about. And Charles Fillmore also knew that way ahead of his time. If you ever want to be blown out of the water by him, read Adam's Smashing Powers of Mind. He witnessed the splitting atom, and he said, it can be used for destruction, but that is the essence, too, of our spiritual power, of our spiritual ability. But he says, all is vibration. Every thought, word, or act sets up a vibration that continues throughout the universe and comes back to us. That part's, it's good because it's putting that power in us. But then I thought, wait a minute. So we have all these fields of energy. Like, are we responsible for everybody else? So I'm in my very last class, and it's visionary leadership, and she is putting us through our paces. And it's about self-differentiation. Because as people who are empathic, which most of us are, as a minister, energy is coming at you. And how do you not take it on? So I'm thinking, well, if we're energy, should we take it on? Well, it's the idea of putting your oxygen mask on first. And so being aware of where your energy stops and somebody else's begins is really important. But we are ultimately 100% responsible for our own self. But it doesn't mean we don't bring into our conscious awareness the effect of energy on each other. And the other good news is emotions, which are just energy and motion, they resonate at different vibrations and different frequencies. And David Hawkins, you may have heard of him, he's at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, and he demonstrated the existence of an energy field related to emotions or energy and motion. And there's a scale that is assigned. Now, at the bottom of the scale is shame, sort of the lowest resonant. And then at the top is enlightenment, and I'm thinking, is Jesus back? Like, who else is at 700? That's also like, is that the perfect credit score too? No, 800. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to 700. So, if we walk into a room, who's had this? You've walked into a room and you see somebody and you're like, and maybe you know them or maybe you don't. And your energy precedes you into the room. And so we can really play with that. I had an occasion several years ago, so not in my current role or church, where the company was kind of going through it, and there was a lot of fear and a lot of pretty please, I'm doing a good job, and we would have these meetings, and I would go into every meeting like, am I going to get fired? Is the company going to go away? Are they going to listen to me? And so I was reading up on this David Hawkins, and this was early on before I was a minister of any kind. And I thought, well, it's worth a try. I'll just raise my energy before I go in. So I stood outside, and I really consciously was like, everybody loves me. I love everybody. We're all facing the same direction because we all want what's best for our customers, for our community. And it worked. I couldn't believe it. It was like it was like pulling a rabbit out of an energetic hat. So why don't we do it all the time? And that was where my imposter syndrome kicked in again, because I'm like, I'm going to go there, and it should be easy. And we all know principles. Why aren't we doing it all the time? Because there's a lot coming at us. I think today we're more divided than ever. Social media can be a good thing. I went off all social media about 2.5 months ago, and I've been so much happier. And yeah, TikTok was not my friend. And I'm even off Facebook, but I have to use it for work a little bit. But so much comes at us, so much energy. And so really, I think it comes down to the awareness first. Unity principle number 5, let me look around. Am I living? What's the truth I'm living today? And shifting that. So I pulled out the golden key yesterday. Is anybody familiar with that? Mm-hmm. Yep. So Emmett Fox, it's like a pamphlet. It's not even a book. And here's the crux of it. He says, all you have to do to erase any problem, and yeah, my human brain goes, oh, really? But all you have to do is not think about it. At all. No matter what. And to not think about it even in a good way. And I do believe that we can hype ourselves and we can put energy out there to manifest. I believe that. But he says you almost have to pretend it doesn't exist. And so anytime a conscious thought comes in your brain, you just think of God. And you can think of God in any number of ways. You can have a mantra, I'm a child of God, God is all there is, and you just shift it away. And I hadn't read it in a long time. And he said, you can't talk about it. That's my big thing. Yeah. I'll know it all the answers, but I got to tell somebody why. To make sure I did it right. They don't know. And that's like being still in the drama triangle. And we won't go into that, but it blew my mind in this class. And so you don't think about it at all, not even how it's going to resolve. That is up to God, source, universe, however you want. You just shift. And I don't know if I told this story before, so if I did, just say, Julie, you've already told us that story. I met Wayne Dyer. Does anybody know that story? Darn it, I already told it. Who doesn't know the story? All right. Sorry, majority wins. I'll give you the short version. So I had the honor to meet Wayne Dyer. I was going through breast cancer, and he came to our church. And there's a lot to the story, but here's the thing that I realized yesterday. He golden keyed me. And Emmett Fox talks about that. You can golden key a person, which I guess means don't think about them. I mean, not even them, like not the fight or whatever. You just send them love, and until it's healed, you just concentrate. And so I went up to Wayne Dyer, and my bald head and his bald head met. And so he right away recognized the journey I was on. And I said, look, I am afraid of my subconscious thoughts. You got to help me because there's a lot going on inside here. And I have to make sure that this doesn't come back. And I'm pretty sure he was like, silly girl. There's something like that where he made like a funny comment. And he said, if you're trying to control your subconscious thoughts, you are in trouble. What do you mean I'm in trouble, Wayne Dyer? And so basically he golden keyed me, and I didn't put it together till yesterday. He said, your only job is to shift your thoughts immediately. If anything in your conscious brain comes up around that situation, or if it's unlike love. And he's like, did you ever see that movie Up? You know that dog? Squirrel. Squirrel. I mean, imagine Wayne Dyer saying this. And there are 800 people watching. And he's like, that dog, that's what you do. And you don't try to think a big, like, heavenly thought. If you start to go, oh, I gotta go back to the dog. Squirrel. Oh, there's a flower. Oh, there's my dog. So it's not this, like, overly, you're just getting out of the way. So I was like, he golden keyed me. So, pretty please, we need to work on our own vibration, our own consciousness. But what do we do about everybody else? Because I was originally going to come here and talk about the power of kindness and all of that. And kindness is great. There's a lot of research to suggest that. But we have to be kind to ourselves first. So there are studies that show that, what is it called? Well, unexpected kindness has a really profound effect. We expect kindness from people we love. You know, we hug, oh, bye, honey, I love you. And it can be by rote, but an unexpected kindness. And about 2 months ago, I was going through Dunkin', and I was like, I should not be doing this. I have a little thing on my watch that tells me how many times I've gone to Dunkin'. I was done. And I got up to the window, and they said, oh, the person in front of you paid for your coffee. Has that ever happened to anybody else? Yeah. That was the first time. It may have made my week, not just my day.
They paid for my Chick-fil-A one time.
Nice.
Panda Express one time too.
Wow.
They're in East Cobb actually. They had me quite a few
So
times.
you're sending out really good energy for sure. Your aura is going before you. And so my initial thought was, oh, I'll pay for the person behind me. And then something stopped me that said, no, revel in this moment for you. You deserve to have somebody you don't know pay for your coffee without some obligation that now I'm going to pay it forward, which tomorrow is pay it forward day, and I am not discounting that at all. But there was more power in me choosing to do it at a later point where it wasn't a one-for-one reciprocity. And so when we do those things, there's actually evidence to suggest that our brains change. So when we're helping somebody, our oxytocin, our love hormone gets put out. It lowers our blood pressure, lots of cool things. And here's the kicker. You don't have to do the kind act. Now, I don't know if I want to encourage you to not do kind acts, but if you witness somebody doing a kind act, you get the same benefit. And I was like, really? But think about it. Has anybody ever had that experience? It's like you witness something, or like those commercials, or during COVID, when people would applaud on the balcony for the shift for the first responders. How many people felt that in their body? Yeah. And so that just shows us how connected we are. And we have these mirror neurons in our brains that mimic what we see. And it lights up just as if we did it. And they call that the runner's high, but you don't have to run. I mean, the helper's high, which is like the runner's high, but you don't have to run. So we're now taking care of our own vibration, and we're trying to elicit kindness. But again, we're all here today, unless I'm the only one, because we're not vibing high all the time. Like, is anybody vibing high all the time? No. And if you raised your hand, I would secretly judge you. No. No, I would not. Maybe a little. No. I mean, we can vibe. I mean, monks, I'm sure, vibe pretty high. And I think we can stretch those periods longer and longer. But we are fully human, I think you said. Living in a very human world. And so there's some help from Mother Earth. Now, here's where I'm probably talking too long. Okay. Can I do this and speak? So Did you know that Mother Earth has a heartbeat? Oh, I didn't. I mean, I can rationalize it now, but it's the ohm sound, so it resonates at 7.83 megahertz. And when we meditate, when we pray, that we resonate with that. And so we're going to do a really quick, it's not our meditation, but just a quick tuning into that resonance. So I'm going to play it, and I just want you to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart, and we're going to see if we can tune into our energy. And so I'm going to play the resonance, and I want you to think of somebody that you love, and then find in your body where you're feeling it. So this is the heartbeat of the universe. And now gently open your eyes. Just a couple people, where did you feel a shift, and where did you feel it? In the heart?
In the eyes.
In the eyes?
Yeah, that kind of surprised me. Yeah, once in the eyes, but mostly in the heart.
Was it like a pulsing?
No, it's not. Well, I don't know what it was. It felt like a smile going through my eyes.
Nice. Anybody else?
I had a pulsing in my head.
In your head?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in this class, we're actually learning where emotions typically reside. And one of the most important, it's a different talk, but one of the most important things we can do in life is to locate ourselves. So if you find yourself being triggered, or, all that noise is coming in, and you get to that awareness, if you find where you are in your body, then you can shift it. And you don't necessarily have to hear Mother Earth's vibration to do it.
Well, could you tell us the numbers again?
7.83, I think. And it can fluctuate. I actually went online, and you can watch it. Things happen. And it's like when lightning strikes. In fact, there was recently a really big anomaly in the United Kingdom, and they can't really pinpoint it. But it has to do with where lightning strikes are, and it predicts earthquakes now. It's part of how they predict earthquakes, is they monitor that. And so there is a range, but then they'll see these spikes. And that takes me into the power of collective consciousness. So we vibrate. It goes before us, and we now know that our feet are standing on the vibration of the universe, of Mother Earth. And is there any power if we all get together at the same time? What do you think? Does anybody know of any studies?
Absolutely.
Tillman, tell me more.
He's the peace troubadour that would bring harmonistic healing songs into areas to shift consciousness.
Nice.
He would have prayer days around the world, including unity days of prayer.
Nice. Yeah, and
World Day of Prayer.
World Day of Prayer, that's right. And where two or more are gathered. But I'm going to see if I can do this right. So I had this tiny little vibration thing. But listen to what happens. Like, it almost does feel like a heartbeat. Oh. I'm going to do that more during meditation. That was just a little precursor. So when we tune into that, that's where the power lies. And there was in 1993, 4,000 people went to Washington, D.C. and did transcendental meditation. And it was a scientific study, and this does border can we replicate it so it's not like a fully scientific backed thing, but they allowed for all the normal shifts, and violent crime dropped by 23%. And they've also measured, like after 9/11, all the energy shifted. And at first, even before, they sensed this anomaly as if the earth was preparing. But then after, the good feelings actually went up. And their theory is the helpers. Have you ever noticed that people who probably think differently and might hate each other in the grocery store, when there's a big tragedy, they're the first ones to help? And that's that collective consciousness. And so the ripple effect that we have is like an echo, a conscious echo that we get to participate in. And so it isn't really a talk about just being kind. And that was where my imposter syndrome came, like, oh, you're going to go there and say, be kind. Yes, be kind. But I think for me, the power is the awareness. We have our principles. We know our principles. But when the noise is coming in, even if you have your mantra, you can do squirrel if you want, but more importantly, to take a deep breath and just tune in to that harmony and know that you are part of a collective consciousness. And, you know, I really believe that when you have a big, big dream, sometimes you don't want to start. And world peace is a pretty big, big dream. But it really does start with one breath, one thought shift, one kind action, one laugh. You know, when I really need to, I look at my dog and, well, she's judgmental, so my dog is. She's been the biggest example on how to not demand how someone should love you. And I mean that. I wanted one of those, dogs. That's not her. But I tune into her. And if I'm not feeling well, she's always right by me. And so being aware of the energy, I think. Aware of the thought that you might want to shift, but aware of the energy and tuning into that. Because then ultimately, we will embody the kindness. It'll shift from a doing to a being when we're all combined. And in this room, how many of us, like 30? Like, we're in an energetic place right now. You said you come here because you feel better. Now, when we walk out the door and we go to Target and somebody cuts us off, we can just remember, find yourself in your body, locate yourself, and then take a breath and know that you're standing on holy ground. You're standing together on holy ground. And that's the sacred echo and the potential for the ripple effect. So it isn't a responsibility. We all have a responsibility, but it's a holy awareness, and it's an opportunity to where two or more are gathered to combine and do some good. And so Easter wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Resurrection happens every time you rise above fear, every time you choose love, every time you send out a ripple or a sacred echo. And so tomorrow when the emails pile up, remember this affirmation. I am the sacred echo of divine love. With every thought I rise, with every choice I resonate. Through me the world is lifted. And so we're going to move into a time of meditation, a quick time, and I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. And we're just going to tune into that divine heartbeat. So we're going to start with leaning into that. Begin to bring your awareness to your heart space as you feel the pulse of this vibration take root. Inside the sacred vessel Where do you feel it in your body? And as you take a deep breath in, let it out. Empty your mind. And just connect with the energy field. First with your own. Feel that energy extending out from your arms, the top of your head, the bottom of your feet. Does it have a color? A feeling? Is it warm? Or cool like a summer breeze? Stay with that energy pulsing down through Mother Earth, combining with that resonance. And now become aware of the energy of the person sitting to your left or your right, in front or behind you. Merging together. Recognizing each other. Hey, there's that divine being. Does the color change? Now for a moment, bring your awareness to Unity of Chattanooga. As we hear the clock marking time, it also is the heartbeat. That constant resonance, reminding us that we are connected in time and space, but most of all through love. Now energies combine throughout the room. Empty your mind of thought and allow your heart space, your collective consciousness with every person in the room and those online, because energy doesn't have time or space. We're connected in the thought, in the resonance, in the energy of Unity of Chattanooga. What wants to be birthed? What energy is rising up? What are your divine intentions for this place, the spiritual home? Tune in to that collective energy around you. And in the silence, allow your heart and your mind to open and see what you receive. Is it an idea, a feeling? Tap into that collective consciousness and tune into the resonance of what is being birthed. And as you move back into this space, We say thank you, God, for the sacred honor, the sacred presence that we have here. Our sacred responsibility, our ability to respond through the energetic field, through our heart. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. I want to know if anybody got something. No, not, hopefully you got something out of the talk. Did you get something in the meditation? I want to see if our energies combined. I kept getting expansion.
If there's one energy field, then our energies are always combined. They cannot separate.
They can't.
It's just the awareness of that.
Yep.
Would that be a decent statement?
That would be. Yep. Yes.
She was purple, you were green, and then when I looked at all of Unity, I saw like lots of rainbow sparks coming off of the white light.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yes. And you're absolutely right. We're always sending a ripple out. So what is our frequency? And when we tune in together, that's where the magic happens. So thank you so much. Thank you, Penny. I'm thrilled to be back with you guys today. I'm feeling the expansive energy. Thank you. And thank you, Heath. This was my little one. This is for the kids that are on their way to you. It takes a long time for them to come sometimes. And you had, 3 or 4 the first week? That's amazing. So this is for all the little souls on their way.
That was great, Julie.
I love the expansion because that's where we're going.
Yay!
So I bet you all think that the next part of the service is where our love offering is.
Yes.
And you would be right.
Just one more form of energy.
That's right. I was just going to say, it's a time in our service where we get to practice the generosity advantage. And that is just another one of those vibrational things. Did you even know there was a generosity advantage? What is so remarkable about giving is that not only does it benefit the recipient, but it also benefits the giver. Practicing generosity has been shown to bring spiritual, mental, and physical benefits to the giver. For example, generous people enjoy a greater feeling of well-being, better health, improved relationships with others, and an increased sense of purpose. Giving can also boost your mood and your self-esteem. And even though generosity can be expressed in many ways, this is the time when I invite you to give from your monetary energy. Your gifts help us each week to bring inspirational messages of love, light, and wisdom to those who not only come here, but to those on Facebook and to all the lives that you touch during the week. So if you will join me in taking your love offering in your hand with our offering statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I receive in abundance. And the ushers will step forward, please.
I am free, I am unlimited, there are no more chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited right now, right now.
dear Mother, Father God, we recognize that it is through your unlimited supply and abundance that each of us are prospering. We are so grateful for all that we have, and may this offering be circulated and utilized throughout this church and our community to help fulfill our mission of transforming lives through love, faith, and prayer. And so it is. Amen. Amen.
Hello again. We're going to wrap things up with some announcements. So, John, you'll roll that beautiful announcement footage.
Well, thank you, Reverend Julie, for being with us again today.
Yeah, you are so authentic. Thank you for bringing your authentic self to us. You are the real, real.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Love it. And that practical advice you shared with us. Just thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, a couple announcements. Right behind us, the bookstore has been reorganized. All right. We're using the Dewey Decimal System now. Tough crowd. Okay. All right. Okay, this coming Thursday at noon, the Wellness Warriors will meet, our support group that's facilitated by Eric Miller. It's a safe space to talk about health concerns and healing victories. On Saturday, May the 3rd, Eric and Laura Miller will lead our monthly drumming circle. And this is BYOD, bring your own drum. Tough crowd. Okay. Think about lunch, I guess. Okay. Oh, and Amanda Adamson will be taking a break from her teaching duties at the Metaphysical Discussion Group, a well-deserved break, I'm sure. And in the meantime, Noam Stark, Kelly Thompson, and Eric Miller, we're going to keep it going. The theme in May is navigating spiritual speed bumps. All right. About exploring your inner compass and discussing various tools to empower you during any challenge. That's Thursday, May the 8th at 6:30 p.m. Okay. And next week we'll have Gregory Fisher. He'll be back with us again, and he'll be talking about Don't Push the River. Sounds interesting, and it's about moving through challenges to manifest what we want without the struggle and the suffering. I'm in. Okay, and Amanda Adamson is our prayer chaplain today, and she's available for private prayer in the back office. And we are going to turn this into a restaurant in a hurry, so I want you to help move the chairs, get the tables ready, get your purses off the chairs, and join us for lunch. And now we're going to stand and do the peace song.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God our Creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And the perfect protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.